Amanda.
I'm Christabel.
And we are messy and we mean it. So,
Woo!
just a little bit of context. Belle and I are doing today a little bit differently. We had a little bit of a cheeky shot before this. So hopefully we loosen up and we talk about something that, I mean, it happens to everyone, I think. You know, hate comments.
Makes us a little bit sad sometimes.
Uneasy.
Yeah, but these are the things that we actually sit down and just talk about when we are alone together. So, fun fact, Amanda and I have been friends for more than 5 years now. Got to know her from her husband back then, and her husband is my longtime friend. I've known him since I was
7 years old.
Yes, 7 years old. So
That's
that's
a long
really
time.
So that's how we became friends, and I always confide in her. And a topic that we always talk about is negative comments and how to actually pull yourself out of it, how to make yourself feel better after feeling shit. Because we always believe that you have to sit in how you feel at that point in time. So today is quite a heavy episode, but I guess it's something that weighs really heavily on us. So just get cozy because we are gonna start.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question. What is the worst comment you have ever gotten?
Oh my God. I don't think I've actually said this out loud, but someone actually asked me, and this was filmed, by the way. This was for content, and this was like, I want to say 5-6 years ago. It was from some industry friends that I was really shocked that they did this to me, but I guess content is content, right? So they asked me, so what plastic surgery have you had?
Wow. That's
Yeah,
not nice.
I found that really mean. Like, they did not preempt me, and I think they were trying to get at something or trying to dig for the sake of content. And these were like older people from the industry, you know? So I was kind of like, whoa, I was taken aback. Like, why? It felt very personal.
And then how do you feel immediately?
Well, I was really, really young back then. And I just, started work in this industry. And
You didn't want to
I
offend
know how
anyone,
to-
right?
Yeah, I didn't know how to react. Actually,
Yeah.
I was like stunned. And I think they could tell. So they kind of reeled it in a little bit. But the fact that they put me on the spot like that and didn't like really preempt me, I thought that was not cool.
And then after that, like, what happened?
After that, you just sit in it, you just overthink it, then you overthink it, then you overthink it. I mean, when you're younger, I didn't know how to process it properly, I guess. I mean, I think I would deal with the situation very, very differently now. Yeah.
I think in the past, like, when we were younger, you would just be like, oh, is that really me? Like, because you get so much validation from the outside, right?
Yeah.
So from people that you meet, people that are close to you, people that don't even know you sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
No,
yeah,
these guys didn't know me. Straight up. Like, they just know me from Instagram or like a friend's friend. But was it a personal relationship? No, of course not.
They don't really know the core of you.
No, of course. No.
But you still have to remain like professional.
Yeah. And like composed, like pretend like it didn't rattle me at all. Yeah.
I think for me, it was very different. So I first encountered something like that, like a negative comment when I was really young. And okay, so in the past, I think in the previous episode I shared, I was super bubbly. And I'm someone that's just cheerful all the time. And that was just how I was. It wasn't like made up. It was just how I was. Now in hindsight, it's just a little louder than normal people. A little more like chirpy. But that's just me. And my parents love that. They always feel that when I'm not at home, the house becomes really quiet. So I always thought about that as a good thing, right? But I met friends when I was in my early 20s who told me that, Belle, this is really fake. If you are this chirpy and this bubbly all the time, it is just really fake and you need to show anger. You need to learn how to show sadness, anger, and like really have it like pronounced.
Was this the worst comment that you got though?
No, I think it wasn't the worst, but it really struck me. It made me question, is that how I am as a person? Am I a fake person just because I'm so attuned to just being more positive all the time? And I think that was a question that I asked myself a lot as I grew older, as I found like more confidence in the person that I am. And now on hindsight, I'm like, dude, I really like that I have this trait. I like that I let go of things fast. I like that I let go of hurt, I let go of anger really fast. And I'm able to switch back to how I am, which is just really cheerful. And I like that about myself. But in the past, in my 20s, I probably wasn't that firm, and I questioned myself a lot to the point that I wasn't sure whether what they said was true. And it really hurt. But that wasn't like the most hurtful comment. I'll tell you a bit more like in the later part of this podcast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually want to know what the most hurtful comment has ever been to you.
What was the most hurtful comment you got? Or like what was the one that...
I mean, I think the one that I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't say like the most hurtful, but that one really stuck with me, you know, like it came from nowhere and it came from people that I didn't know.
But they were people of status, like people that you looked up to, people that were your boss.
People,
not
boss, but like
boss,
people
but
who
more
were
like-
like seasoned in the industry, you know? And yeah.
Their words hold weight.
Sorry?
Their words hold weight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that there was a camera that was uncalled for. Yeah.
So what do you do when you like on hindsight, what would you have done?
Oh, I would have walked off. Yeah, I
Oh.
would be like, that's very disrespectful. This was not the point of the video. So that's, yeah.
Okay, so now on negative comments, you know, today on the episode, we're going to touch on negative comments from your loved ones, from people that you're close to and people that you're not that close to.
Yeah.
But from my experience, I think I just wanted to start from a very sore place, I would say. Like getting comments, because we both work in the social media space and we get comments a lot from strangers. And sometimes death threats, you know, that I got many times before that, hey, you know, you shouldn't be alive. Like, why are you here? Like, why are you still existing? Like, you should probably, you know,
Yeah.
and that's not kind.
Yeah.
But it does happen. And as much as we don't want to talk about it, working in the online space, these are the kind of comments you shouldn't be comfortable with, but it does
It
get
happens.
to you.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's quite normalized. I think in the sphere of like hateful comments, there's like varying degrees, right? Trolls online. Honestly, I think the more like susceptible you are to what other people think of you, what other people say, I think you'll be more affected. But at the core, if you really think about it, I think the most hurtful comments can come from your loved ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know their words hold a lot of weight and they mean something to you. You know, yeah, those are
But
the ones. That
sometimes
hurt the
these
most.
comments come
from a constructive space.
constructive
Yeah,
place, but or
absolutely.
sometimes they just come from a place of just like impulsive anger
Yeah.
that they don't mean. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So with time, you get to decipher whether which one is constructive, which one is just based out of like anger and just impulsive and things that you shouldn't take to heart.
I think that it's not mutually exclusive. I think that even if it comes from anger or impulsive, there might be truth to it. But I think the intention is very, very important. If they are just saying it to be negative and tear you down, that is one thing. But if they're saying it, people are different, right? Some people don't have a great filter. Some people don't relay their message the best way. But if they are there for your betterment, I think like you can still, you know, there's hope there.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But if the person is just saying things for the sake of saying things and to be negative, then yeah.
I think there's this one thing that when you said no filter, right? It just crossed my mind. Also, my mom. So I have a really good relationship with my mom. Just to lay it down there, I'm super close to my mom. She's super lovely, and I think over time our relationship got even better because you make an intentional like block of time for each other, and you try to have like common hobbies so you can just spend more time together. But my mom, I don't know whether it's an Asian parenting, but she's just very, I don't know what to put, like, I don't know what keyword to put to it, but this is a scenario, okay? I was in my room and I heard my mom talking to her friends. Was it my aunt or her friends? But one of them. And then my mom was like, oh, you know, so I heard on the speaker, she said, oh, your daughter is actually working on this project and it's so good. Like, she looks so good at it. Then my mom was like, oh, no lah. She looks average. Like, she looks okay only. Like she doesn't look that good. Other girls look better, and like maybe your daughter looks better as well. And she's okay, you know? So hearing that from the bedroom, I was like, oh, number one, who are you talking to? Number two, I didn't feel that good about it, knowing that she is
Saying these kind of things.
saying this
about
kind
you.
of things. Though I also know on hindsight that it's because she was just being like, oh, no lah, you know, she doesn't know how to take compliments. But it does make my achievements feel small.
Yeah.
It makes me feel small. It makes me feel just really, I wouldn't say insecure, but it doesn't make me feel confident.
Yeah.
But I also know that this is a universal thing. Like I talk to all my girlfriends and all their moms do the same thing. I don't know why. But I mean, if you're listening in, I'm not too sure whether you go through the same thing. But your parents are just not that kind that like to show off about you or like your achievements. They are just like, no lah, my kid is just average. Like he's just okay.
I think it definitely
You know?
has to do with the Asian culture where, you know, Asians are not open with praising people. You know, if anything, they're more like very paise, you know. Like if someone were to say something good about you, they'd be like, oh, no la, you know. The typical Asian thing. And I think another one also has to do with like how they view themselves. You know, maybe it's a self-esteem issue and then they project. Like if someone were to praise your mom, would she ever accept it?
No.
Right? Yeah. So why would she do that for you? If she can't do it for herself, how's she going to do that for you?
But I think the main thing is that you realize what this does to your self-identity.
Yeah. Your self-esteem.
Yeah, your self-esteem. You
Yeah.
don't feel proud to,
No.
to
You never
stand
feel
there.
proud.
You never feel proud of the person that you are.
Yeah.
You never feel proud of the achievements that you have because they are always like dialed down a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's so normalized. Like it's a habit almost. Like you have
You
something
ought to
to be
be like
proud
that.
of. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have something to be proud of. You have something to celebrate. But your automatic response is like, oh, let's dial it down because, you know.
Like what's the balance between being humble and also being proud of yourself? I feel like that's the main thing that we haven't grasped until today. I don't know how to be proud of myself. I don't know how to be humble enough, you know, because when you're too proud of yourself, they're like, oh, you're too boastful. When you're too humble, you're not confident.
Is it crazy to say that maybe in these situations, you just fake it till you make it? Like, I don't want to ever see myself in a position where if someone compliments me or praises me, I'll be like, no.
Yeah.
You know, I want to take it.
Yeah.
I might or might not believe it, but I want to take it.
For me, it's very different. I will be like, oh, no lah, you know. Though I know I'm able to step
Are you
up.
still in that space?
I would say that I am getting better, but yes, I'm still in that space. Yes, I know that I'm able to step up to the challenge. I'll be able to do it well. But I wouldn't be able to stand out and be like, hey, this is me. I can achieve this. I'm proud that I'm able to achieve this. I have also reached a point where I don't know how to celebrate myself, you know, and my achievements and things like that. I wouldn't blame that on upbringing and things like that. I just think that just how I have been, I don't know, what's that word? I would say like
Nurtured?
Nurtured, probably.
Okay, so there's this thing also where, you know, humans are just naturally more predisposed to like sensing for danger or bad things to happen. It's kind of like a defense mechanism, right? It's our survival skill. But I guess because of that, or as a result of that, we don't celebrate our wins. We're not aware of our wins. We're not as perceptive of the wins. We are more perceptive of the losses and the dangers.
But I think maybe in this day and age, the dangers that we face is not really to our physical self, but more of like to our emotional and our...
Yeah. So
our-
it's not like the caveman style, oh,
Correct.
an animal is going to come and attack
Yes,
us.
yes.
Another tribe is going to come and steal our
Yes.
food, but it's more like emotional.
Yeah.
Like,
What would people think?
Yeah.
What would, like, because of what they think affect like my future, like business prospects. It will affect how people view me, you know, and it just spirals out of control because you just get so caught up with how people like think about you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just not the way to live, I feel.
Yeah. And I think one of the dangers of that is like, if we are exposed to these kind of environment, since we are young, you know, we kind of internalize it and we make that our identity. Yeah, which I found myself doing quite a lot.
I felt that when I was younger, the most painful comment I got was from my best friend. And because of that negative comment, I feel that instead of trying to, I felt instead that I didn't want to make that my identity. I felt that that was like my turning point. So I have a track record of dating really terrible men. And I wouldn't say terrible because I just didn't know my boundaries. I didn't know how to say no and things like that. So I was in this relationship that my boyfriend would break up with me every single time I didn't have enough time for him. And my best friend at that time, also my best friend now, told me that, hey, Belle, you don't have a backbone at all. And I know, like now saying it, it doesn't feel that painful. But back then when I was younger, it felt so offensive. And I felt so attacked. I was like, what do you mean I don't have a backbone? What do you mean that like I'm not like strong, you know? So I took that and I internalized it and I was like, yeah, I need to do something. And now in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, I realize that's how I am. When you tell me that I cannot do something, I'm going to prove it to you. That I'm not that kind of person. You know, I will be better than that. So I think it started when I was really young.
But then I think that also leads to a whole other host of problems where you're just trying to prove yourself.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Like I feel like my life is constantly a cycle of trying to prove myself that I'm not this way. I can achieve this. I can achieve that. But I don't feel like that's a bad thing. Just more of like I need to make sure that it's in the boundaries of what I'm able to perform.
Yeah.
I'm able to.
And I guess because for you, you know, especially after living in putting yourself on such a public platform for such a long time, like you've basically lived out, maybe you want to say half your life now?
Yeah.
Or almost half your life.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, almost half your life on social media, on the internet. You know, you are definitely more exposed to these kind of comments.
Yeah.
People feel like they have the right to say these kind of things to you because you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
But then that also gets me thinking, like, don't you have a life? You know, like, don't you have better things to do? Because the one thing that I notice is that a lot of these people use burner accounts.
Yes.
They don't have the guts to use their own account. Because if you use your own account, I low-key respect you for that.
But
like,
a lot of them also use their own accounts. So sometimes like when I see
I would love
comments,
to see that because I don't get that.
in, you know, and some of them have like their family photos, their photos with their wives and all. And I wondered to myself, why?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing when you're sending such a comment? And
like,
you're
where's your wife
clicking
and
send?
kids? Like, where's your wife and kids?
Like, what are you doing?
know?
Like, at that point in time, like, I'm sure your wife will be able to see it or maybe not. But the thing is, like, what is going through your mind?
Like, why invest 5 minutes of your time or why spend 5 minutes of your time writing something hateful and negative that serves nothing instead of spending that 5 minutes with your kid or your wife?
And on top of that,
or a hobby.
All these comments are not constructive. Like, it doesn't like improve your life or like improve the life of the person that you're commenting on. You're just like, hey, you look so ugly, you know? Or I think that your face shouldn't be here anymore. Kind of thing. And yes, you know, everybody knows that it's negative and they always tell you know, if you are gonna be a content creator, if you're gonna put yourself out there,
you have to be ready for it.
Yes. Like, this is part of the whole package. This is how your life is gonna be. But yes, you know, if you want to leave that comment on my page, it's fine. I would say, please don't stay on my page. Please leave. But
please unfollow.
Yeah, please
It
unfollow.
is a free world, you know? You can unfollow. We're not gonna hold it against you. Why are you still following? Or the weirdest thing is that sometimes these people don't even follow, but they will keep on going back to your account just to leave hateful comments. That's wild to me.
Maybe this is just for entertainment at this point, right? Like, you just go back to the same
May I
like,
suggest a
show?
Netflix suggestion, subscription? Like, may I suggest a Netflix subscription? I mean, surely that's more bang for your buck, right? Because you're not going to get a reaction out of me. You're not going to get a reaction out of her. You just look really silly with your, why is your face like that comment on our page? Because, for what?
I think also if I always keep thinking like, if I do meet you, will you ever say it to my face? Will you ever like
No.
come up to me and be like, hello, your face is so ugly?
Yeah.
You won't, you know?
So remember that day you sent me a comment that someone like slipped into your DMs? What
Yes.
did they say?
I think, wow, let me think about it. Okay.
I think you wrote it somewhere
I
here.
think this person said, let me try to find it. I wrote it down because it was so iconic. This person said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you're genuinely the most annoying influencer, and I'm not too sure why you're always showing up on my feed. Okay, number one.
Because you follow?
Maybe you don't follow and I show up on your explore feed. It happens and I am not sure why, but there's a way for you to curate what you see. So just like for myself, if I'm not happy with seeing like, let's say, ghost hunters and stuff like that, it keeps popping on my TikTok.
No.
So I'll just click not interested and hopefully, you know, the algorithm will show me less of that. So if you are not very happy with like my face, anybody's face, just click not interested.
Yeah.
And then this will also help me curate my audience a lot better to bring the content that my audience wants to them instead of like to you, because you obviously don't need the beauty advice or things that I share about. You know what I mean? So number one, I feel like I am not as affected by negative comments as before. In the past, I'll be like, why this person is leaving such a comment? And I'll feel so personally attacked. But now I just don't feel so. Now I'm more of like, my content is not for you. I'm sorry. You feel this way, but please move on. You know, I don't think that you'll be part of the community of what
You're trying to build.
yeah, so just find your own community. It's fine. It's okay if you want to leave such a comment. I understand, but it's just not nice. You need to know that. But yeah, let's just move on.
So remember you said like one of your really, really good friends told you, oh my God, you have no backbone. And beyond trying to prove something to anyone else, how did you overcome it for yourself?
I think at the start, I was like, okay, I need to break up, right? And start afresh. But I think with all this at the back of my mind, I still went back to the same cycle. I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to draw my boundaries. I had this very idealistic idea of love that you just need to just try as hard as you can. And it just spiraled. So I think my 20s was just filled with terrible like relationships, you know, and they broke my heart. They broke me as a person. But my best friend still stayed, I would say, you know, the one that gave me the most hurtful comment ever, she just stayed by my side, you know. So I would say that these negative comments from your loved ones, if they are constructive, yes, they will make a difference in your life, but it doesn't mean that you will change overnight. You know, you are who you are as a person. I am innately probably just needing that few years to grow, to learn how to put myself first. And I think the most important part about that is that she and all my close friends just stayed through every single hurdle I had in my life. And because of that, I am able to just pull myself out of it, especially through the darkest times. But was that one of the most negative comments? Yes, definitely. I remember this sting in my heart when I heard about it. She's like, you have no backbone. Then I was like, ouch.
Did it affect your relationship?
Not really. I don't think so, because this girl is my best friend, right? And I love her so much. When she said that, I just felt this sting. I think I cried a bit. Not sure whether I cried a bit, but I knew that to take her words seriously. And fun fact, after that, I switched it back. Like, I think about 5 years later, I was like, you said this last time to me. Now it's your turn, you know? You are going through the same thing. Like, you need to have a backbone. You know? So I think
I don't think, okay. So like we're talking about hurtful comments and also hateful comments. While maybe it might be hurtful at the time, but I think it serves a great purpose.
Definitely,
You know, like it did serve a bigger purpose. Like it's for the betterment of you. It's basically calling you out on your shit, which, I mean, we've spoken about this before.
You
know?
need friends who call you out on your
need
shit.
friends who call you on your shit.
Yes.
Like, I really, really appreciate that. I think it's so necessary in a friendship because it runs the risk of
other people calling you out.
No. Yes, there's that. Because if you can dish it, you have to be able to take it, right? But also at the same time, you don't know how the other person will receive it. Some of them might not receive it as well. Or it might tarnish the relationship a bit. You know, the friendship, if it might not be the same. Maybe your friendship can't handle it. So, yeah.
But most of the time, it's like your defense mechanism. Whether you feel hurt and whether you can get past the
like
hurt.
your ego
to
is hurt,
see-
right?
Correct. Whether you can see
Past.
that and also see the real genuine intention that your friend has for you.
Yeah.
But also, if you're dishing such a comment, you need to know how to lay it out right.
Yeah. No, delivery is key.
Yeah, delivery is so important. Instead of saying like, you are so ugly. Instead of like, hey, I think you should change up your hat.
Yeah.
I think that this hair color doesn't suit you. Change it to this instead. So
Yeah.
something more constructive. Like,
Ooh, and one more, time and place. There's a time and
Yes.
place for everything, right?
Yes.
So there is this rule, right? If you see a person and they have it in their within their power to change it in 5 minutes, just say there's lipstick on their teeth or like their hair, there are flyaways in their hair. You can say, hey, you got something on your teeth. Or hey, tighten
help
up
you
your
fix your
hair.
hair.
Yeah. But just say if it's their outfit and it's way beyond their control, they have to leave to change it. Like their outfit doesn't match their shoes or like their makeup is not great. You don't say anything.
yeah.
You save it for yourself.
Yes.
So time and place, I think
Yes.
that's very important.
Like for example, if you're going to a dinner, a really nice fancy dinner, and you realize that your friend's shoes don't match the dress,
Yeah.
right? You won't say it outright like, hey, your shoes are so ugly today.
Yeah.
You will try to just don't share that at all.
Yeah.
Try to make your friend, I will make my friend feel more confident in that outfit. I'm like, that pairing is cool.
Yeah.
Like just try to rock it,
But see, here's the thing. So I think when it comes to style also, I never really comment on my friends' outfits because I think style is very personal. What might look nice to me might not be my friend's style. And who am I to say? Maybe everyone is different one. So I would not necessarily comment on a friend's style. Yeah.
But I think there's a difference between whether comments are constructive or whether just plain out like just rude. You know what I mean?
How do you differentiate between both?
I would say that I agree that without prior practice and mindfulness, you might just say things off the top of your head just because you're a close friend.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's how friendships break apart because you just speak your mind and then you inevitably hurt your friend. And then after that, your friend gets hurt and then the friendship's over. Correct? So mindfulness is key, but also being frank is very important. But how frank do you want to be before you hurt someone's feelings and your friendship just falls apart and you're like, oh yeah, that's how I lost a friend because she is just mean and things like that. But it's just a very thin line to thread. I would say that on hindsight, knowing how to word your words, even with your closest friends, is very important. As much as they say, it's very important to just be open with your friends, be honest. But I think honesty comes from also a point of being mindful, being smart with how you want to manage your friendship and whether your comment would actually bring any good. Yeah. So for example, if my friends like, okay, I think I give you a simple example. For example, if I paint my nails a bright, hot pink, right, and you think that is really ugly, will you say it to me as I'm going for a photo shoot, or will you say it to me like behind the scenes, like, on another day?
Definitely not on the way to the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Maybe another day. But also, I don't think I would say it because, like I said, everyone has different style. And I don't know. Maybe you're having a Barbie theme shoot. Who am I to say? Yeah.
But I think, okay, so...
I've never told a friend that I think your outfit is ugly. I think your nails are ugly. I think your hair is ugly. I've never done that.
My friends...
Have you?
I haven't, but I've gotten comments like that.
Yeah, I have gotten
Yeah,
comments.
I also...
Yes.
So I've gotten comments like, ew, why
And
your
they no
nails...
longer in my life.
Oh, mine's my best friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Beatrice, hello.
Beatrice, why you like that?
Yeah, B was like, wow, your nails so ugly today.
Okay, but
Why you
I think
pin them
even
hot
the
pink?
delivery, you see, like even the delivery,
Yeah.
you know, so I had like this friend in school, right? Like she would make really like snide comments. Like I remember she would say things like, "Oh, why do you put your makeup like that?" We were in high school, by the way. Like she would say it to me and my really, really good friend at that time. So it's three of us. She would be like, "Oh, why do you put your makeup like that?" Like implying that it doesn't look good. And then you know what she would tell me? Yeah, I'm all natural. I don't put makeup. And I'm just there like, what the? Yeah, I know. And I was like 15, 16. I'm like, what is this? Like, so obviously at that time, we did not have the wisdom to kind of say something, right? So you just kind of like, okay, like that's a really weird thing to say. But then you leave that conversation feeling really shit. There are people like that.
So many.
Yeah.
And I think in the past, you just don't know how to react and you just sit there like stoned a bit like, I feel really shit about myself.
I feel really shit. I know this
but I cannot look like I feel shit about myself, you know? I still have to smile and be like, okay, yeah.
Okay, that's a really odd thing to say, but I don't know how to react. So I'm going to be polite because that's the normal thing to do, right? But actually, you just want to like tell them, what the fuck are you talking about? Like that's really rude. Like, you're not a beauty queen yourself, you know? Like, get it together, man. We're only 15. Give me a break, God. I'm still figuring out my style. Leave me alone.
So, hello, best friend, if you're listening in. I just wanted to tell this story because it's very cute, but also, I mean, I didn't feel that offended because you are my best friend. But I remember that there was this point in my life where all I wanted to do was paint my nails like crazy colors. So I had like green, like neon pink. And then one day, like when we meet, she'll be like, oh, wow, your nails are so ugly. Why you paint this color? This one looks like green eggs and ham. You know? So, I mean, I just got taken aback, but I didn't feel that offended.
I think that there are some things that only a best friend can say. And I think that privilege is honestly earned, right? If I just met you, I'm not going to go to you and be like, oh my God, like what is happening here? Even a good friend, I don't do that. But this takes time. You have to build the rapport. You have to build the trust, right? To know, to kind of understand where that person is coming from and what their true intention is. Because there really are people out there who say things just for the sake of it. Say things just to get a reaction out of you, just to tear you down, just to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And let's hope that we don't call those people our best friends or our good friends.
Yeah. But I think a way to secure such friendships also is knowing the fact that you are confident in your friendships. On top of that, when they just speak their mind without any filter, you're like able to take it, you know? Like, oh, your nails are so ugly this time. I'm like, oh, really? It's so ugly? I like it, what?
Yeah.
Right? And then you know how to rebut, you know how to just have a happy banter. And then after that, you just laugh about it. You know, and now when we look back, you're like, hey, remember the time that your nails look like Dr. Seuss? You know, the green eggs and ham? We just laugh about it. But I think it's important to... I think I get this question a lot. How to maintain good friendships when your close friends give you very negative comments, when they're the most blunt to you. You know, you need to know how to put your ego aside. I think there's a difference
between negativity and bluntness though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think bluntness can be harsh, but it's not toxic. It's not negative. You know? It hits different. Yes. It hurts different.
It hurts different, but you can take it.
Yeah.
I think when I was younger, the worst kind of like comments I got, because that was way before social media, right? Was from people that you hung out with on a daily basis.
Yeah. Like back in the old days, you know, before social media and
dude,
we hang out in groups.
I feel like growing up, even now, everybody has a say in how you lead your life, correct? Whether you're a good mom, whether you drink too much, whether you're not getting enough sleep, whether you're late, whether you are like being
successful enough
and like being great to your parents or earning enough, basically. Everybody has a say in everything. But back then, when I was in uni, it was just more of like what you spend your time on. So in my uni life, just for context, I studied in Australia. And back then, my dad, being the frugal guy that he is, he gave me a very set budget of allowance. So if I wanted to go shopping, I have to earn that money myself and be able to go shopping or go like on road trips and things like that, right? So I would take on part-time jobs, and on top of that, when my friends decided to go out on a Friday night, I would have to have enough money to head out for a quick drink, something like that, right? So because I focused on all this above my curriculum, there were so many comments. And all these comments were just from like my peers being like, oh, she should have stayed in. She shouldn't have gone out. Why is she working so much? Why is she going out late at night? You know, and things like that. And
Wait, so they're commenting on the fact that you have to go out and work and own your own keep?
yeah, so I can enjoy my life. Because
But wait, why do they have a say in that? It's not like you're asking them to work for your enjoyment. You're working for your own enjoyment.
I think maybe the allowance was a lot higher. I don't know. But my dad has always taught me that, okay, this is
The
what
value
you
of
need.
money.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
value of money. This is what you need. This is what I give you.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to work, he obviously deterred me from it. It's like, you're gonna study, don't work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I wanted more money to like go shop,
Yeah,
then
fair
obviously
enough.
I need to work lah.
Yeah.
Right? So I just went to work. And then if I wanted to hang out late at night with like my friends and things like that, I needed the cash to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I would just have to work early in the morning at a cafe and things like that. You know, and it's just the way it is. But because I chose those lifestyles, everybody had something to say about it. And it went to a point where...
Wait, what did they say?
So, okay, back then it was just Facebook, right? So you just log on to Facebook and you realize that people say, hey, you know, everybody likes you, but they don't.
Wait, so they comment this on a photo?
No, just like a status bar.
Oh shit. So they
Yeah.
were being like vague, but
Very vague. But you kind of know that it's about you. They're like
Oh.
subtweeting you. Yeah, that's the thing.
that's so
and you know
gross.
that's about you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And on top of that, you know that they are gossiping about why you are like always out, you know, you are having fun. And at the end of the day, these people still ask you, hey,
You want to come out?
yeah, no, they don't even ask me, can I copy your homework? Can I get your tutorial answers? Because your tutorial was earlier. And then like, I still remember that I asked myself, huh? Like, aren't you the person that is shitting on the fact that I am wasting my life away because I'm going out to work, I'm going out to have fun? And then after that, you want to copy my answers for school? And then on top of that, say that I'm wasting my life away, not working hard enough for school?
Okay, but I have a question. Did they also go out to have fun?
They did not, I would say.
Maybe they were just hating on you because you were going out to have fun. Like, how dare you go out to have fun? And there are people like that exist. You know, they cannot stand the sight or the idea of people having fun and having a good time.
Yeah, but it hurt, you know?
Yeah, of
Back
course.
then, it
of
really
course.
hurt. It made me feel like so confused. Am I a bad person? Is this wrong? Should I be leading life a different way? Should I be just choosing a different path?
It makes you
know?
question yourself.
Yeah, like I feel like this is right. I'm not hurting anyone. But why does everybody have so many negative things to say about me?
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like in my 20s, I felt so much of that.
Yeah.
But somehow I was able to push through to just go ahead with what I thought was right. You know, yes, I've been burned. Yes, I was hurt. But at the end of the day, I know exactly where I wanted to be, who I wanted around me. And it was a very, very painful journey. And now in hindsight, they always ask you whether you will lead life differently.
Yeah.
I would say like, no lah. You know?
Yeah.
I feel that everything that we go through, we learn and then we improve on. And we wouldn't be where we are today, sitting here, without all the hurt, all the challenges, and all everything that we have overcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ask me whether negative comments are constructive and whether they are going to be useful to you, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Whether they are made in spite, whether they are made with good intent, they are always good for you because you are able to check yourself. You are able to have this like hard stop in your life that gives you a jerk and says, hey, like, am I doing things right? Is this what I want? You know?
I think for me, it's still time and place. It's where the source is. It's really, you know, who is saying it and what my rapport with the person is. If I don't know the person well, if the person doesn't know me well, I feel like they have, I don't want to say the word earn, but earn, you know, like I don't go around commenting on people. Like, if you have nothing nice to say, it's true. If you have nothing nice to say, then just keep it to yourself. You know, everyone is going through their own shit. Like, we don't need to add salt into the wound. But I think, like, we can reserve a special place for that for our good friends. And it comes from a good place, you know. But anything else, it's not necessary. Like, yeah.
But I also think that this is like a skill that you learn. Learn how to hold your tongue, not to share and not to give like your opinion so quickly.
Yeah.
And you yourself, if you're receiving such a comment, you need to be prepped for it. You need to know whether this is useful to you or this is coming from a place of somebody that's really insecure or somebody that is also hurting by his or herself. And just projecting.
Yeah.
So you need to be prepped and mindful of the fact, you know, when you are receiving such a comment. Because you cannot control what people are saying to you. You cannot control what comments will be hurled onto you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you're just posting like a random reel about your holiday and then people are like, oh, you get to go to Japan, like you're going to all the wrong places, like you're just such a tourist, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like, even such a simple comment will hurt people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, just 2-3 weeks ago, I posted like a reel of me with an outfit. And it was like this really beautiful crochet skirt that I got from like this little Thailand brand. You know, they kind of upcycle crochet. And I really, really love that piece, right? So I wore it and I took a reel. And then there were people commenting, oh my God, my grandma is looking for her tablecloth. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, my grandma is looking for her tablecloth. Then I used to be like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Then I delete, right? But now I just commented and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. You and your grandma share like a tablecloth. You know, that's and then it turned into a banter, which was quite cute. And he was like, yeah, you know, like we love it during tea time. And I'm like, I like tea. So I think you can also turn it around. I mean, it's also how you take it, right?
Yes.
So I turned something into, hey, it could be hateful or hurtful, but also let's play around with it, you know? And that person turned out to like play around with me. So okay lah. And then someone just straight up commented, yeah, it looks like my tablecloth. And I was like, yeah, your table is not worthy of this cloth. So bye. Yeah. You know, so how do you eventually respond to this negativity, I guess?
I think when I was in my 20s, I used to be super insecure. But now, okay, recently, I was like in a fight. I was in a fight with my...
Like that? Like
in a fight, yes. Like when you're fighting with someone and then you say things you don't mean.
Okay, who is this and why do you guys fight?
So this one was my husband. And then we were fighting.
We have all been there.
Yes. So, you know, all those people who say they don't fight with their husband, I'm like, how do you not fight?
No, I actually genuinely do know people who don't fight
so
with
sweet,
their partner. Okay, look, I don't want to like label it because every dynamic is different.
Yes,
some partners are really that zen and they can really like talk it through. But my energy is not like that. Like, I need to get it out there. Like, I need you to know that I'm dissatisfied. Like, this is my stance and look at my face. Does this look like a happy face? Like, you need to see this face. Are you like that?
No, I'm not like that. I'm like, okay, tell me how you feel, you know? Then, okay. So my partner is someone that's super honest, right?
Yeah.
And he will just share with you exactly how he feels. But the thing is, on top of that, because if he's in the heat of the moment, he'll just say like, you know, why are you like that? Blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Then it becomes very hurtful.
Yes.
And in the past, I used to take it very, very like seriously. No, I wouldn't say seriously, but I took it very personally.
Yeah. Like almost like an attack on your character.
It's like, why are you attacking on my character? I don't think I'm like that. Correct? But now I'm just like, okay, I know you say this out of anger, and I know I'm not like that. So, yeah, I think that's the change. Okay, for context, okay. So this time we were fighting about, I think we were really angry because we were doing some construction work to our new house and it was done really badly. Okay, it was done so badly.
Like the finishing was
Oh,
horrible.
yeah, so bad. Like it was so patchy, you know.
That, yeah.
Then, okay, on top of that, like you will feel so upset. But I'm like, okay, like, yeah, it happens, it's normal. But he's like, why? Like, we are paying money for it. Why is it like that? It looks like an old house. This is not right, blah, blah, blah. And we are spending so much time and we are supposed to move in, but we couldn't. You know, all these like construction walls and things that you go through. And it affected him. And I was like, oh no, it's okay. You know, then he's like, no, it's not okay. Like, you shouldn't feel okay about it. You're always like, not strong enough. You sweep things under the carpet and like, you just act like you're okay and like you're so fake, but actually, yeah, you feel really angry. I'm like, no. So in the past, I used to be really angry that why you call me fake. But now I'm like,
okay, maybe I'm just like inserting words, but is he like implying like you're a pushover?
Yeah. Like you're a pushover and like why are you always okay with things? I'm like, no, I'm not a pushover. I'm just trying to figure out the best solution based on the current circumstances. Why is there a need to be upset? Right? Like I'm a problem solver. I do not want to waste my time feeling upset or negative at something when there's no positive outcome. I just want to solve the problem so I can move in faster. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So in the past, I wouldn't be so assertive. In the past, we'll continue fighting because it's like, why do you say this about me? This is not kind, blah, blah, blah. This is a negative comment, doesn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, no, I'm not like that. Let's move on. You know?
I think in the past, our ego was also a lot stronger. We let our ego dominate, right? Like our ego doesn't let someone else, no matter who it is, what more a person that we love, say such negative or like hurtful things about us. But I think as we grow older, we have the ability to kind of tame the ego, I want to say, and maybe hear people out a bit more.
I think tame the ego is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't learned to tame the ego earlier on, but now when we tame the ego, you're like, okay, we can focus on the root of the problem, solve the issue, and then move on.
Yeah.
You know? So we are level-headed enough and we're able to not focus on the drama behind it. Like, oh yeah, this has been so bad, blah, blah, blah. And just repeat it. We just solve the problem and that's it. Move on and have a happier home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
a more peaceful, balanced home.
Yeah. So now I'm still trying to solve the issue of like the wall and the painting and stuff like that. But we're on it. It's a lot better now.
What color is your wall?
White. And the way they plastered it was so bad.
Oh no, that's horrible. So it wasn't like...
It was patchy. It was patchy.
When the light hits, that's the worst. Because you can see all the unevenness.
Yes. I'm sure many of us have been there before. You know,
no, can I just say, like, this is not related at all, but I think not related to the topic, but very relatable to anyone who is at that stage in their life. Like, everyone who I have spoken to has like nightmare stories with their construction, like the contractors. Yeah.
Okay, we'll probably leave this for another episode, topic. But...
like, we're going to call it our beef with contractors.
Yeah.
Beef.
I was just doing like my electrical work. And you made it look like an older home. Anyway, this will be for another episode. So do remember to follow us on Takeaway Table and on Spotify because we're just going to keep chatting about our messy days.
Yeah. Okay, wait. But going back to that, speaking of beef, if you could address the trolls and the haters, and this is like your one opportunity, what would you say?
Dear hater. Number one, I'm not too sure why you follow this page. I hope it gives you entertainment value, but it probably didn't, so you're leaving a hate comment. Number one. Number two, I feel like if it doesn't serve you anything, please unfollow because it probably isn't making you happy and your comments do not make me feel happy. But if this page gives you entertainment value, I hope you take away also the skincare advice that I give on this page and also little snippets of my life that you hopefully feel like you can resonate with. But if there's one thing that I would say to you is that I hope you will be happy. Because if you are taking so much time to send a hateful comment, it means that a part of your life you are still working through, and it's probably not that pleasant. And I myself also have been in it. I have found myself leaving like really nasty comments, not online, but to my best friend. You know, when you're really angry and then you're like, why is this person like that? I feel so unjust. I don't like this person, blah, 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 blah. And on hindsight, I realized that it's really because I was going through a place of so much resentment and hurt. And I was just really unhappy inside.
Yeah.
And because of that, I was projecting it and just being really upset at how people treated me.
Yeah.
Right? And you feel really unjust. But if you actually put in the work to make yourself feel like a more peaceful, happy person, you don't feel as attacked whatever happens to you. You know, it doesn't matter whether people don't like you and whether you are just facing really nasty circumstances, because you internally are feeling at a very peaceful place. You feel more ready to receive and also deal with anything that any negativity that's thrown your way. So, yeah, I think inner work helps. If you are still here after all these that has been said, I hope that my page will bring you hope and make you feel a lot better and make you feel that you have a friend. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to be friends with my haters. I think I'm very okay just saying, you know, you stay in your corner and I will stay in my corner. I think at the end of the day, where I can meet you halfway is that we are all going through our own thing. You know, I will be empathetic towards that. I will not be mean or unkind, but we don't need to be friends. And
wow, we are so different.
Yeah, we are very, very different.
So different. I'm like, yeah, I'll be your friend, don't worry.
We all have our own hurt. We do project. And I think that is something on a very human level we can all relate to. I do hope that you heal from that. You know, you sort out your own thing going on. So that is like the one side of me that is, you know, kind, trying to be kind and understanding. Very, very human level. But the other side of me also just wants to say, like, I feel sorry for you, you know, get a hobby, maybe go out, touch some grass. It will do you well. Anyway.
I feel like I feel joy when people's eyes light up, you know, after going through like a period of hurt and hate. So that's why I want to be their friend.
But let's just say that leaving hateful comments is not going to bring you any closer to that joy or like light in your life, you know? Like really dig deep. Like the internet or like looking at other people's lives is not going to help you. Yeah, I mean, we have all been there before, you know, when you are feeling shit about yourself and then people just post like the happy moments, you're not going to feel happy for them. And I get it. It's only natural, but maybe stay off the internet, you know? Don't waste your time there.
Read a book.
Yeah, read a book. Like, go to the park. Get some sun.
That brings us to today's messy mail. Amanda, do you want to read this one?
All right.
Okay.
So, I, 21 female, flirted with the girl my boyfriend told me not to worry about to find out whether he was cheating on me. I was already suspicious of the girl he told me not to worry about. It's always those girls, right? Because he was slowly distancing himself from me. But when he bailed on our Valentine's Day plans to study with her, that was when I lost it. After stalking the girl on Instagram, I found an NGL link. And what's NGL? What's NGL? Non-girl lie? Not. Oh, I've never seen those. Okay.
The anonymous ones. Okay.
Oh. I need to check that out. Okay. After stalking the girl on Instagram, I found an NGL link and caved, sending her anonymous, flirtatious questions to bait her into talking about my boyfriend. Things like, what's your type? I really like you and want to know if I have a chance. Monkey eye emoji. She fell right into my trap and answered all my questions the way I wanted, admitting she liked a guy in her class and described my boyfriend to the T and stated that they hung out 24/7 and he made the first move. Snake. I kept on confronting my boyfriend, but he just kept on denying that he was cheating on me and insisted that they were just studying whenever he canceled our plans. So here's the kicker.
I need to pee.
Oh my God, I need to pee. Are we pee sisters? 4 days after I broke up with him, he posted an Instagram story. Now I just keep on thinking of my bladder. He posted an Instagram story of them together in his bathroom. They're still dating till this day and apparently found out I was stalking her stories.
Wait. Why are you posting an Instagram together in the bathroom?
I don't know. I mean, kids these days, you know. I fell into this deep hole of regret and sadness and even considered getting back together with him.
Huh?
What?
Wait. I need to read this again.
Okay, but let me read it for them. You read first, okay? But you know what? They truly deserve each other because she knew he was taken and he knew
She was taken
he was
too?
taken too. Moral of the story, never trust when a guy says they're just a friend. Oh.
I'm so confused.
What can I say? I mean, this is a story that has happened time and time again. Whenever a guy tells you that there is a girl not to worry about,
Oh, dude. Yeah, you worry about that girl.
her. It's always going to be that girl. Okay, you know what? Here's the thing. We've all heard about, what's that term? The pick-me girl. The pick-me girl. Have you heard of the pick-me girl?
I had, but I'm not too sure what it means.
Oh my God. So the pick-me girl is that girl who would make these like outlandish statements just to make themselves seem different or like cool in like guys' eyes. Like, oh, I'm not like the other girls. You know, I don't wear makeup. I don't wear dresses. I don't go shopping. You know, I like my beer. I go to like the sports bar just to make a point. Tear other women down, basically, right? I mean, fuck lah, I love my makeup and I like my dresses. Like, what's up with that, you know? But also at the same time, they have so much to prove that I don't want to like generalize, but I see this quite a lot. They have this sense of enjoyment out of like taking other people's man.
You know, there's this thing, like, I talked to my friends about it. Like, there are women that like to go
For taken men.
Yes!
They see it as a sense of achievement. Yes.
And on top of that, they see
Seen
these men
so many times
as like
a prize. A
yes, and on
trophy.
top of that, like these men are like checked. Like they tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
They are wanted and they are good.
Yeah. No, I know
Ish.
women who only go for taken men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when they're engaged. They feel like it's a challenge.
Some are married, some have children.
Huh?
Some got children. And they feel even better about it. Like, wow, I managed to nab a man who's not only married, but has children. This guy is willing to leave his whole family for me. Okay, but this does not go that deep. But I think it kind of like does thread in those waters, you know?
I mean, good for you. You are still dating, but
I think, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit alarmed when you said like, you know, after you saw the Instagram stories, you felt regret and sadness. But why? I feel like if anything, that should kind of affirm the decision that you made, you know? I mean, like Belle said, which person takes an Instagram story in the toilet? Like, come on, man. There are other better places to take your story, right? So, which part of that made you feel like sadness and regret?
you dodge a bullet, I would say.
Yeah, you dodge absolutely, 100%. I mean, if I were to take a story with my man, you know, like at least take me somewhere nice with
And
a
on
view.
top of that, if a man is able to be taken away by another girl, you probably lost a man
Yeah.
already.
You,
and
you don't want that kind of
No,
man.
you don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I also want to say that I don't want to like cast the blame on the woman. Like the woman doesn't take the man, you know. It takes both sides to clap, but they're both willing. It's clear that they're both willing. So, like, good riddance.
Just wish them all the best. Like, it doesn't matter.
You don't even have to wish them all the best.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're probably happy.
Just don't wish them ill, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do, right? Just don't have negative
They're
thoughts.
happy. They're happy. You
Are
deserve
they
your
though?
happiness as well.
I mean, they're taking Instagram stories in the toilet.
No, but it's okay if they say in the Instagram.
At least lah, go cafe.
They're happy lah.
Like,
Just let them be happy.
eating ice cream, you know. He didn't even buy her ice cream or a coffee. They're in the
They
toilet.
probably share the same toothpaste lah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but I think at the end of the day, looking at what you said at the end, I think you kind of know where you stand. I don't think it's as straightforward as, you know, when situations like this arise, okay, I can move on right away. But I think it's great that you're in that place where you understand that they deserve each other and what they did. You know, you have a little bit of clarity on that, which is great. And I just
it really hurts.
Yeah.
Seeing the person that you love move on with someone else. And then seeing their life plan like play out, especially when now social media is so rampant, right? Can see exactly what they do, which cafe they go to, what they like to do, where they hang out. You know, it does feel sore. But after a while, the most important thing is knowing that in 1 year time, you just count, okay? Just write down a date right now that I feel shit on this day. 1 year time, you will not feel this way. I assure you, you will feel so much better.
Wait, but I also have a question. Why are you still following them? Why you follow?
I guess this is messy and...
We mean it.
Thank you so much for following our pod. If you are listening in on Spotify, thank you so much for listening in. Head over to our YouTube channel, which is on Takeaway Table. This is where the podcast is held. And also let us know in the comment section what you feel about this pod, what you want us to talk about, and whether you like this episode, Abelie.
Yeah. And I also want to say thank you for sharing your stories. You know, they're full of color. It brings so much light into our episodes, and, you know, keep them coming. And let's dig deeper together, actually. I would really, really love that.
That'd be fun.
So I guess this brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.